The reason that we're here, the reason that we're supporting independent music or creating a community that supports artistic freedom and freedom of expression is that we know that corporate rock is boring and manipulative and it sucks. And I think that it's important to realize, of course, that it's not just music and entertainment that corporations control, it's everything. And I think that creating like communities where we can have independent music festivals like this, things like that is really good. And it's important to continue to create independent communities of resistance around a lot of different issues, not just music and art.
This is our dance song for all the queer kids in the audience.
Getting money is not as important as having like a vision and a will to do something. And that's pretty much how I've done everything here in Olympia.
I was in a rehearsal process with 7 other people, and we were rehearsing in my sister's living room. And we became so desperate for rehearsal space, we couldn't find any anywhere, and we didn't have any money. So I found this space, and my friend Thomas Knott and I came in and restored it and got it going.
So I wanted to do this CD, and decided it was time to do it, and I didn't have any money at all, like no money. So I started out, I just had some friends, the guy who was playing guitar with me who was willing to do recording and to send it to press. Like I needed about $2,500 to make copies of it and get the artwork done and stuff. And so I sent out flyers for pre-orders, just like to all the people on my mailing list, and raised all the money that way. So I pretty much didn't have to put any money into it at all. That's how I did it.
I've been around this town for a few years, I've done a few things, been a few places. So they're putting on this yo-yo go-go, and they said, hey Calvin, we want a little advice from you, putting on this festival thing, we got a lot of people we got to get in touch with, and what's the best way in your experience, in your vast experience, to get something from here to there, and get it there safely, and not just get it there safely, what about get it there with a little bit of that yo-yo go-go love action, you know what I mean?
Invasion of the Heart was a live soap opera we did for about a year and a half. And each actor wrote their characters and performed them. Created the character, wrote the plot lines, and did it, and just did the whole thing all themselves. And no budget, and we used things like plastic ferns to be in the jungle, and we used really funky sound effects, and we worked in really small performance spaces.
Narcotic Express, Narcotic Express, Narcotic Express.
My idea of community, I think, is a lot different than people of my community. I know the children of Olympia, I know their parents, and the bank tellers or the grocery store clerks or the postman, I stop and ask him how he's doing. And that's really important to me, that it's not just a bunch of artists sitting around talking, that I'm going beyond that and bringing those people into what we do as well.
We had these open mics going on, the City Limits open mics, and we had like 12-year-olds get up and they've been playing for a couple months on the guitar, and they would just get up and play these crazy Beatles covers and stuff, and it was just great, and people would be totally supportive.
Wild X, which was a community performance event where anybody could do anything on stage for 15 minutes or less, and as long as it wasn't music, they could do anything. They could. We had a teenager come in and read really bad angst poetry. We had interpretive dance. And we did about 4 or 5 of those shows and discovered all this stuff in the community. 12-year-old kids were performing, and elders were performing. It was just a lot of fun.
Evergreen being here in Olympia is a big part of what makes it so easy to get a lot of stuff done. I've had so many things where or there's been so much stuff that I've wanted to do, and I can just go to Evergreen and put up flyers, or talk to somebody who's been studying the same thing at Evergreen and is just psyched for a chance to try it out.
Looky, looky, look, there's a girl in the sky, she's just floating by. Looky, looky, look, there's a girl in the sky, she's just floating by.
Seems like it's so complicated of an idea, feminism, because it's connected to power and it's connected to economics. And that's like what feminism has to respond against. And it seems like the idea of feminism in some way needs to be broader than just the focus of women, of empowering women. It seems like inherent in the formula of feminism, there needs to be understood that that affects men and that affects children.
So I've been teaching with feminist and self-defense training. It's FIST for about 2 years now. They're an all-volunteer organization in Olympia, and I started my training with them a few years ago, and then I did teacher's training. So I've been a teacher for a couple years, and for a long time I thought that it would be really cool to somehow combine like touring and doing shows and doing self-defense workshops.
How can a flower be true? This perfect thing that comes out of a seed, out of the dirt, with light and warmth and water, pure color, pure form. I never can believe a flower is true.
This garden's really important to me because I've been living in an apartment for about 5 years, though I just recently moved to a house. And so coming here was always kind of a special place, and more like, you know, like that classic book, The Secret Garden. And I'd come here and I'd forget about things. But at the same time, it was not like an escape from doing creative things. It was sort of, I came to awareness that the garden was a creative act in itself.
It's a nice day at a waterfall. If it's not the water, then it's nothing at all. It's a nice day at a waterfall. If it's not the water, then it's nothing at all.
Art is clearly a medium of communication, that it is a means by which you can step outside of yourself and engage, well, in that level of not only heart but in mind.
And when I start to try to make something, I have a topic and I go to the library always, that's the first step, and I research and I research and I research and I try to find out the whole history of this idea. And then I combine it with the history of another idea, and why I like to make art is there's this moment in time where when you look at everything that's known and you're trying to connect it up to make something, the best possible moment is when you realize something that you haven't read by linking all these different ideas together, and you make a discovery, and that's it. It's this complete thrill to realize something in the world that maybe no one has ever realized before, and to approach problem solving believing and thinking that you're going to find this connection and it's just going to thrill you.
Can we have some silence in the hall, please? This is a very important song. Hey. I'm here today so I can say that not every good thing has gone bad. So don't give up on a good thing just because somebody says it's bad. Don't give up on a good thing just because it might make you mad.
It must be clear by now that really, it ain't all that bad. Because even when it's bad, you can kind of reconfigure it in your mind and think, how will you turn this experience, heartbreak, pain, pleasure, into something that you can tell a little story, maybe not about yourself, or maybe about other people, whatever. I'm saying it's all accessible, baby. Art today, art tomorrow, make your own music, and do your own thing.
That no matter what you do, if you get up on stage and do it, there are people here who will just like be totally psyched and totally like encouraging you and, you know, getting you to keep on doing what you're doing, and that's really amazing. And it's just really cool that like that you don't have to be really good or really like practiced or really polished to just get up and do it.
You can do it anytime and anywhere, and you don't need any instruments. You don't even need to be able to sing. You don't even have to have anything to say. Just do it anytime and anywhere.
Just beginning to be the person that I wanna be. Yeah, just beginning to be the person that I wanna be. I'm just beginning to see I can be that person I wanna be. So don't even think I'm stepping on me. I love that feeling of clarity. Yeah, it's not drug-induced, as you can see. Yeah!
And we found that we can do whatever we want with hardly anything at all. And there's plenty of stuff around. So I just generally encourage people to, if you have some project, just do it. Don't wait around for somebody to give you money.